The flickering glow of the tabletop RPG world has enchanted countless GMs, drawing them into the intoxicating alchemy of story, strategy, and chaos. But behind the screen lies a shadowed adversary, one that every GM will face at some point: burnout. It creeps in silently, robbing you of your creativity, patience, and joy. So, what is burnout, and how do we slay this persistent beast? Welcome to RPG PhD. I'm Dr. Ben. In order to understand burnout, we first must recognize the signs. Burnout doesn't happen all at once. It's a slow erosion of enthusiasm, a malaise that builds over weeks or months of gaming. You might notice the symptoms: a growing reluctance to prep sessions, a sense of dread when game night approaches, or the feeling that your players, once eager allies, are now more like demanding bosses. Imagine this. You've just wrapped up an epic 3-arc session. The players are thrilled, recounting their heroics and plotting their next moves. But instead of basking in their excitement, you're filled with dread and indifference. The thought of crafting another set of maps, inventing NPCs, and creating encounters just feels overwhelming. You're not lazy, you're exhausted. That's burnout. Burnout stems from many sources: perfectionism, creative fatigue, lack of player engagement, or even the sheer time commitment required to keep a campaign running. The key to combating it lies in recognizing it early and taking action. One of the most effective ways to stave off burnout is to realize that you don't have to do everything yourself. As a game master, it's tempting to take on the role of sole world builder, storyteller, and referee, but this, for many GMs, is unsustainable. Sharing the narrative load with your players can lighten the burden and enrich the game. So let players build the world. Instead of detailing every village, forest, and tavern in your world, invite your players to help create the setting. If the party enters a bustling city, ask one player, what's the first thing your character notices here? Or who do you know in the city and how did you meet them? These prompts encourage players while saving you some prep time. Encourage player-led arcs. If a player's backstory involves a long-lost sibling, let them take the reins in shaping that subplot. Ask them to brainstorm NPCs, locations, or complications. Not only does this lighten your workload, but it also deepens their investment in the game. If your group is open to it, consider rotating Game Master responsibility for short arcs or one-shots. For example, one player might run a side quest or a flashback episode, giving you a chance to recharge. This not only eases your workload, but also gives players a fresh perspective on the game and allows them to appreciate the challenges of being a game master. If you're comfortable sharing the spotlight, let someone else run a session or two. You might be surprised at how much fun it is just to step back and play. Burnout often thrives in monotony. If every session feels like the same cycle of combat, exploration, and roleplay, even the most passionate game master can start to feel like they're running on autopilot. Shaking up the formula can work wonders. So run a one-shot. Take a break from your main campaign to try something completely different. If you've been running a grimdark fantasy epic, switch gears and play a comedic heist in a cyberpunk setting. Use a new system, or experiment with new mechanics. The novelty might refresh both you and your players. Shift the focus. Instead of designing a sprawling dungeon crawl, try a session focused on social intrigue or problem solving. Maybe the party attends a royal masquerade, navigating political tensions and unmasking a spy. Changing the focus keeps things fresh and encourages different styles of play. Perfectionism is the silent killer of Game Master joy. If you're spending hours designing intricate puzzles or scripting NPC dialogue, you're setting yourself up for burnout. Instead, embrace simplicity. Online tools can generate names, quests, and even entire towns in seconds. A random NPC generator might tell you this merchant is a gnome with a nervous tic and a secret criminal past. That's more than enough to riff off during the game. AI tools can also be great to help brainstorm ideas, suggest NPCs, or even help create plot threads or moral dilemmas for your players. Prep in broad strokes. Instead of writing out detailed scenes, create flexible frameworks. For example, if the party is infiltrating a bandit camp, note 3 key elements: the leader's motivations, the bandits' patrol patterns, and maybe a dramatic twist. A rival gang arrives mid-fight. This approach gives you the freedom to adapt without over-preparing. Finally, remember that you're human. It's okay to admit when you're tired or need a break. Communicate openly with your players about how you're feeling. They're more likely to support you than you might think. Regularly check in with yourself about how you're feeling. Are you excited for the next session, or does it feel like a chore? Being honest with yourself is the first step to addressing burnout. And share those feelings with your players when needed so they understand where you're coming from. It's also okay to say no to excessive demands, whether it's from players who want additional sessions or from your own perfectionist tendencies. Let your group know if you need a slower schedule or less intensive prep expectations. Build breaks into your campaign schedule. Instead of meeting every week or every 2 weeks, meet every 3 weeks or once a month. Use those weeks off to recharge, brainstorm, or simply enjoy a different hobby. This next bit is specifically for the players. Players also play a vital role in preventing Gamemaster burnout. Show your appreciation for your Game Master's hard work by communicating your enjoyment of the game. If you had fun during a session, let them know. Compliments like, "That twist was amazing," or "I loved how you roleplayed that NPC," can go a long way in encouraging them. Regularly thank your GM for the effort they put into crafting the world and facilitating your adventures. You could also offer to help in small ways, such as managing initiative, taking notes, or assisting with setup. These acts not only show appreciation, but also demonstrate that you value their effort and are willing to contribute to the experience. A little gratitude can remind your Game Master why they fell in love with the game in the first place. Burnout is a natural part of any creative endeavor, but it doesn't have to end your love for being a Game Master. By sharing the load, changing the pace, simplifying your prep, and taking care of yourself, you can reclaim the joy that brought you to the table in the first place. So next time the burnout beast rears its ugly head, you'll know just how to counterattack. And remember, the most important roll you'll ever make isn't against a dragon, it's to keep the fun alive for everyone, including yourself. What about you? Have you faced the burnout beast? Share your tips, strategies, and experiences in the comments section below. If you found this content useful, please hit those like and subscribe buttons for more content. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.